You guys good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Infrastructure, INFAR. Right, good. No, absolutely not. That was a bold move on me. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. You good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. WLTX 191991. You good? A light? No, this is DOT's event, not ours. Cool. You guys good? All right. Thank you guys.
Man, I'm going over this thing trying to figure out how to sabotage some of these commissioners. I got it down. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Have a good time. Thank you. All right. Okay, I think if everyone would have a seat, we'll get started. That. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the groundbreaking ceremony of the Carolina Crossroads project. My name is Barnwell Fishburne. I'm the chairman of the South Carolina Department of Transportation Commission. I'm pleased to have all of you here today and look forward to hearing from you, Governor, and many of our other distinguished speakers. But before we move on to those remarks, I'd like to introduce the other members of the Highway Commission, if they would stand when I call their names, please. Mr. Gene Branham is our Vice Chairman. He represents the 5th Congressional District, a very big advocate of resurfacing I-95. I look forward to working with him in the future. Mr. Bill Dukes is our newest commissioner here from Columbia. He represents the 2nd Congressional District. Ms. Pamela Christopher is from Anderson, represents our 3rd Congressional District. Mr. Woody Willard is here from Spartanburg. He represents our 4th Congressional District and is in his 2nd term, which will expire in February. And Commissioner Willard, we will miss you dearly. Next is Mr. Tony Cox, who represents the Republic of Myrtle Beach, and he is from the 7th Congressional District. Last but not least is Mr. J.T. McLawhorn, a good friend of mine who is one of the 2 governors at large appointees, and he represents interests statewide. Thank you, gentlemen. I feel honored and privileged to be a part of this commission. It's an exciting time in South Carolina. It's a time unprecedented. And I am just delighted to be involved in a project of this size in this state. As you know, for many years, the area of I-20, I-26, and I-126 come together in Columbia and has been referred to as Malfunction Junction. I wish I could tell you the nickname of Malfunction Junction was a misnomer, but I think it's all of you who traveled around Columbia and to the mountains and to the coast realize that name is well deserved. Well, I'm happy to tell you that Malfunction Junction is getting a makeover. When you leave here today, I hope you will be as happy as we are that this project is underway and Malfunction Junction will soon be a part of our state's history. Today, we break ground on the new and very greatly improved Carolina Crossroads. We are very pleased today to have with us Henry McMaster, the governor of our great state. Governor McMaster has worked tirelessly for the citizens of South Carolina since he was elected. He never misses an opportunity to lend his support to the projects that will improve the lives of our citizens and bring commerce to our state, as shown particularly in the last 2 years. He is not afraid to stand strong and fight for the things he believes in. We're proud to have his support for this project, and I look forward to hearing from him today. Governor, I will relinquish the podium to you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, Barnwell Fishman. Y'all, I'll be very, very brief. This has been a long time coming, but we're here now. And all of you, you hear all that noise over and the horns blowing. You know what that is out there we're listening to? That is money, M-O-N-E-Y, that's money. South Carolina's on the move. We didn't close down. We used our common sense, and we kept going. We are booming. We're going to boom more the next year. Next 10 years are going to be extraordinary, and this is a big part of it. So thanks to all of you that have had so great a role to play in getting us to this point, particularly the commission that does a fantastic job. And in the words of the great Ronald Reagan, the best is yet to come. Thank you very much. Joe? Joe.
Thank you, Governor McMaster. Our next speaker is no stranger to the traffic troubles around Malfunction Junction. Congressman Joe Wilson has lived and served the 2nd Congressional District right here in Columbia for practically all of his life. He has served South Carolina in the U.S. House of Representatives since 2001. Prior to that, he served in the South Carolina Senate for 17 years. Representative Wilson, I very much appreciate your being here today. And at this time, I'd like to welcome you to the podium.
Thank you very much. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, Governor, Secretary, Mr. Chairman, and as I look out to see so many people who make a difference for the people of South Carolina. So thank you for being here today. And what an exciting time this is. We get to say goodbye to Malfunction Junction. And this is really significant because this is the most widely traveled corridor in all of South Carolina, and 134,000 cars a day. And the first thing I think of as I come through here is safety. Every time I come through, I grab my heart and hope that I make it through. And as we see the traffic today, it's just safety, but actually it's jobs. And that is initially 1,300 jobs are going to be created in construction. And then you need to know, with the leadership of Governor Henry McMaster, it's also international jobs. And for me, it begins at North Augusta with MTU, German investment. And then next door is Bridgestone Tire, 1,000 employees, Japanese. And then you come, of course, to Michelin Tire Corporation. The largest Michelin investment in the world is right here in South Carolina. And hey, isn't it beautiful to see those mining tires? You can get 3 on the back of a truck. And they give those away at $60,000 each. And so what a benefit that is. And then you get to Southeastern Freight Lines, and Rick Todd has made sure that they do good. And as I come forward, we then jump up and how important this is going to be to Samsung, an important Korean investment, 1,000 employees right next door in Newberry, and then Haier Corporation making refrigerators and stoves and microwaves right next door from China. And so over and over again, this is a success story of jobs. It's going to have a ripple effect across, and hey, don't we love to see those BMWs go through every day? And I'm surprised that we don't have a whole line of them right now. But it is so exciting, jobs, and so it's a wonderful time to say goodbye, Malfunction Junction. Hello, Crossroads, Carolina Crossroads. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Wilson. Our next speaker is no stranger to the Columbia area. Senator Setzler has been representing the 26th District in the South Carolina Senate since 1976. Senator Setzler has been instrumental in helping move this project forward to the point that some people say this is his baby. He is a strong advocate for the people of the Midlands area and a strong advocate for important infrastructure projects. Senator Setzler, please come forward and have a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I've waited a long time to say to Malfunction Junction, your days are numbered. You are through and will exist no longer. What a wonderful day for the people of Senate District 26, the Midlands, and the people of South Carolina. Through how many times have each one of us sat on this road in traffic, stuck, and can't move? How many times have our small businesses and our large businesses sat in traffic on these roads? How many times have you missed being on time to the beach or the mountains? And more importantly, how about the safety? How many times have you had to play chicken trying to go through Malfunction Junction with other residents and out-of-state people? Today is transformational for not only this area, but for South Carolina as a whole. We thank everyone for what they've done. I've been known and fought, and the Secretary of Transportation knows, I've called our roads deplorable. Deplorable. But yet we fought to get the funding to improve our roads, and it was a slow, arduous task against great odds. But we were successful. In 2013, we passed Act 98, which gave to the department and the State Infrastructure Bank funds to redo our interstates and to expand our interstates. In 2017, we passed the historic road user fee to provide the funds to improve and expand our roads and bridges in South Carolina. That is a tremendous progress through the work of many, many, many people who deserve to be there. Our citizens deserve to ride on a road and an interchange where they don't take their life at risk each and every day when they go through there. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been involved in this process to getting us here to today. The governor, the members of the General Assembly who are here, who voted with us and fought with us to get the funding passed with the user fee, to our friends on the federal level who have supported us, and least, and not last, and not least, and not last, the South Carolina Department of Transportation and its incredible team. We owe a tremendous thank you. And to the Secretary of Transportation, Christy Hall, we love you, we thank you. She stayed with a vision, she stayed the course, she joined the fight for us, and we are here today because of the vision and the work that's been done. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Senator Setzler. Thank you very much. Representative Chip Huggins certainly has a vested interest in this project as well. He has been representing the citizens of District 85 in Lexington County for 22 years in the South Carolina House of Representatives. He has been a strong supporter of this project and is eager, like the rest of us, to see it completed. He understands the daily difference it will make in the lives of his constituents and all of those who travel to and from the downtown Columbia area. Representative Huggins, would you please come forward and share a few more remarks with us?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Governor, Secretary, Congressman, Senator, federal folks, and our esteemed Trucking Association. We appreciate the opportunity to say a few words to you this afternoon. Behind me, beside me, I grew up here. And I'm so fortunate and blessed today to have three of my colleagues here. We've got Representative Nathan Ballantyne, we've got Representative Paula Calhoun, but I want our chairman of the House Education and Transportation Committee to stand. Rita Allison, we thank you for being here today. We also have our wonderful mayor of Irmo. And our mayor will tell you that District 85 is going to benefit greatly from this. I cannot tell you how many times I've been backed up to Chapin, if not to Newberry on this interstate. And I can tell you we're so excited to finally get rid of that name, Malfunction Junction, and rename it Carolina Crossroads. Give it a round of applause. I want to just tell you the things that all of these folks have mentioned have been amazing, but commerce has got to be first and foremost. What this will do for our port, what it will do for our upstate, all the benefits that we have from renaming this, and certainly the improvements will be made will be enormous. So I want to say, when I end this right now, a big thank you to the South Carolina DOT. You know, this thing is certainly a joint venture. The legislature had a big part in it. The federal folks had a huge part in it. But our state entities had a bigger part, and you're going to have a bigger part going forward. Thank you, DOT, for all you do. I cannot tell you, I know that Nathan Ballantyne and I wear you out, but we're very grateful for all you do, and thank you for bringing us the Carolina Crossroads. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Huggins. Our next speaker is a time-tested, true friend of the State Department of Transportation. Emily Lawton is the Federal Highway Administration Division Director of South Carolina. A big title and a big stick. We certainly appreciate her being here today, and she leads a multidisciplinary staff of 20 professionals responsible for a $750 million federal aid program. Director Lawton works closely with Secretary Hall and our South Carolina Department of Transportation team to maximize every funding dollar that becomes available. Director Lawton, we are very happy to have you here today, ma'am. Please come forward.
Thank you for that introduction. Big stick aside, and that $750 million is getting ready to get a lot bigger, so thank you to our congressional delegation for that. What a great day for South Carolina. What a great day for South Carolina. This project, the largest infrastructure project in state history, improvements to 14 miles of interstate and the interchange, which, as we've already discussed, Malfunction Junction. So this project supports Federal Highway Administration's initiatives of safety, innovation, and infrastructure. This project, we've talked about safety. This project will improve safety for commuters like me who go from downtown Columbia to Chapin and other localities outside of Columbia, but also people going from the mountains to the beach, people going from Ohio to Myrtle Beach. Those people will benefit from this safety. The port, the commerce, all of those trucks, all of those big tires, all of that commerce that's coming through this port will benefit. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the DOT. I want to thank everybody that's been involved in getting us to where we are. As we said, a long time coming, and a lot of work, and a lot of late hours, and a lot of hard work, and a lot of support. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for making this project a reality, and we look forward to good things to come. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Lawton. Thank you very much. If there's anyone who understands how important these changes are to our motoring public, it is our next speaker. Mr. Rick Todd has been president of the South Carolina Trucking Association since 1988, and under his leadership, there have been more than 700 trucking companies with more than 100,000 trucks on the road nationwide. I'm sure Rick has considerable insight as to the benefits of the Carolina Crossroads project. Rick, please come forward and give us some insights on that, please, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Fishburne, and I am Rick Todd. I'm President and CEO of the South Carolina Trucking Association, not the Truckers Association. We're a 90-year-old alliance of businesses that use and depend on trucks. And it's a privilege to participate with our state's leaders today as we begin this long-awaited project. If you hear a diesel air horn, it's a trucker expressing his opinion or what he's got to say about this. Mostly enjoy, but you never know with these guys, they got a lot of time to think. South Carolina's historical competitive advantage has been its extensive transportation, distribution, and logistics-related industries and the public infrastructure that has allowed them to grow and serve in direct proportion with demand. And the movement of goods and the provision of services by truck is fundamental as every other link in the commercial and the consumer supply chain depends on a truck and a professional driver. So we all thrive with good, safe, and efficient highways and bridges. You know, I-26 has literally been central in our economic journey, and this central junction desperately needs comprehensive modernization. We see three major factors that drive this necessity. The relentless growth of international shipping, aided by the evolution of the now ubiquitous intermodal shipping container, which opened new agricultural markets, spawned wildly successful industrialization and manufacturing, and the corresponding deployment of a huge warehousing and distribution center sector. And by the way, trucks are needed to transport 73% of all of the cargo coming to or going out of our dynamic ports at Charleston, which our state's leaders have reinvested in by harbor deepening and new and expanded facilities. Another factor, the Midlands' vast westward and northern development, and Columbia, our state, is situated between the major economic markets of Georgia and North Carolina. So over time, with increasing congestion, jams, and accidents, this corridor became known as, and not so affectionately by truckers, as Malfunction Junction. When this complex and expensive highway project is completed, we will come to truly appreciate it as Carolina Crossroads. It will unlock a major, often hazardous and costly bottleneck. So the business of trucking, freight, and services and our supply chain soldiers see this project as another step by Governor McMaster, by the General Assembly, with particularly dogged determination by Senator Setzler and the Federal Highway Administration to keep our state moving. We recognize and appreciate the best-in-class leadership of and the expertise within our South Carolina Department of Transportation. Our DOT is responding with methodical, sound work to improve our critical transportation infrastructure. This project is a massive undertaking, and we have confidence in the stewardship you see here today. Now, in the meantime, we urge all motorists to be patient, to exercise caution, and to drive very carefully through these construction zones, because it's going to be a while. The people of the truck will continue our support as we keep on trucking.
Thank you, sir. This is my favorite time here. And my favorite speaker, no offense, Governor, this is my favorite speaker. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce someone who has truly been the driving force of Carolina Crossroads, as well as hundreds of other projects around the state. Secretary Christy Hall rose through the ranks of South Carolina Department of Transportation and has basically done it all in her 25-year-plus career, from filling potholes to planning monumental projects that will impact our transportation system for decades. I want to make sure everyone understands what an exceptional professional she is and how lucky South Carolina is to have her at the helm of this agency at this particular time in history. She is truly multifaceted, and by that, I mean she has very diverse abilities. She blends her technical knowledge of an engineering degree with acute skills of a corporate accountant. It's pretty hard to do. Combine that with being practical, creative, with an unending devotion to the agency's employees, and you have something that is, well, it's pretty special, and it's also the envy of every state in our nation, hands down. It is my pleasure to ask Secretary Hall to please come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that lovely and delightful introduction. I want to personally thank all of you for being here today. It means a lot to me, the Commission, the DOT team, our project team, to have this tremendous of a turnout for this historic event here at Carolina Crossroads today. It's been said that this is a historic occasion, and indeed it is a historic occasion. And speaking of history, I think it's important for us to reflect on how we got to this moment. I've heard a few speakers reference this earlier, but I want to take it a little bit further. This section of interstate here behind us is one of the very first sections of interstate built in the Palmetto State. I-26 from this area north to Pomeria, as well as from this area south down to Dixiana, exit Senator Setzler, as well as I-126 heading into downtown, were all built at the same time, starting in 1957 with the ribbon being cut and all 30 miles of this new interstate facility being opened on September 7th, 1960. 61 years ago. 61 years ago, this infrastructure was built. A lot has changed in South Carolina since 1961. We've seen our population double, businesses have boomed, our economy's grown dramatically, and it's brought dramatic increases to the amount of traffic that's flowing through this particular interchange, through this crossroads of our great state. What once was described as a modern marvel when this was opened has over time decayed to the point in performance where it has earned, rightfully so, the name of Malfunction Junction. I too used to commute through this area on a daily basis, and I knew exactly when I needed to leave the house or I was going to be late to work, which I hated and I tried to avoid at all costs. I also knew what time I needed to leave the office in order to avoid that same gridlock heading out of the downtown area. So if you drive the area, you adapt to the malfunction of Malfunction Junction. And Rick, I'm going to take that as a way to go, horn. Not, good job, keep it going, right? All right, so not much has changed from the 1960s to today with regards to Malfunction Junction. The demand, the requirements of the interchange to perform has increased, but the interchange itself hasn't changed very much. And why is that? Two reasons. One, well, more than two reasons, but it was always too hard of a project. The project would take too long to do, and it would cost too much. So it was skipped over time after time after time after time. When I was a young project engineer under Mark Lester, who's here with us today, former DOT person, he was my boss and I was the junior project manager for the Columbia area. This interchange was one of the interchanges I was assigned to work on. 1997, old hand-drawn plans. Even then, it was a project that we were just working around the fringes on. It was too hard, would take too long, and cost too much money. So we skipped over it and continued to skip over it. 15 years ago, the DOT was reformed. Malfunction Junction, even then, was identified as a high-priority project. But it was still not tackled because it was too big of a project. Would be too hard to do, would take too long, and cost too much money. And yet, we are here today. What changed? Two things. Two things changed. And that's another thank you. You're welcome. Two things changed. The first is The state DOT established a vision for our state's road and bridge network, including targeting urban pinch points, trucking pinch points. You heard Mr. Todd refer to the amount of time and amount of travel that the trucks use carrying goods through the area. We identified this area as one of 3 major pinch points in our state. So first, establishing that vision. Second, recipe to success, second ingredient, as Senator Setzler so eloquently described, was state funding stepping forward to make it a reality. So funding that vision that we outlined with the support of many people here today, beginning back in 2013 to start the wheels rolling on design work and preliminary activities, to where we eventually got to a point in 2017 where some real significant funding could be dedicated for roads and bridges. So establishing a vision and funding that vision has gotten us to where we are today. Without either of these, we wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that. And I want to thank everybody that's had a hand in getting us to this moment. Excuse me. Whether you are a policymaker, a designer, or a contractor, thank you. Without your leadership and passion for making things better, we would still be facing that obstacle that's too hard and seemingly impossible for us to tackle. Instead, we are here today to celebrate not only the start of this critical interstate project, but also celebrate the success of a commitment to the citizens of this state by the state DOT to lay out that plan and follow through on it at all costs. I mentioned already that we had identified 3 major freight pinch points in the state to tackle, and this is one of them. The other 2 are the Gateway, or the 85 through 85 project in Greenville that's been completed. This project at $1.7 billion. I'm going to dub it the Modern Marvel. Will be the next project to come forward within that plan. And then finally, the third crown in that jewel, or third jewel in that crown, will be 52626 down in the Charleston area. That'll come in a few years. But those are 3 very strategically identified and critically needed interstate to interstate projects that absolutely have to get addressed in order to keep the state moving forward. And not only will this interchange here be the modern marvel at $1.7 billion, but it is designed to be able to continue to serve the growing demands of the state decades into the future. Work on this project will begin within the next 2 weeks or so. We've already awarded contracts for phases 1 and 2 on this project. I'd like to congratulate our contractors on phases 1 and 2, Archer Western United joint venture, along with their designer, ICE Engineers Consultants. Please give them a round of applause. This project will be a 5-phase project. First 2 phases are already under construction or under contract at $335 million, with the additional $1.4 billion in work to go to contract in 2-year sequences over the next several years, 2023, 2025, 2027. I want to thank our project team that's internal to the DOT that's worked so hard to get us to where we are today. Yes, as a secretary, I get comments a lot, Mr. Chairman, as a secretary, but I'm very much aware that it's not me that makes the difference on these types of projects. It's our project team. And I'd like to recognize those folks and ask them to raise their hand so that we can recognize them. Chris Gaskins, David Reister, Chris Lacey, Brian Clark, Chris Johnston, Will McGoldrick, Gary Lynn, and Jim Martin with Federal Highway Administration is our project team on this particular project. Gentlemen, job well done. Mark, they got done what we couldn't get done. Congratulations. The team that I talked about here today, whether you're a policy official who helped with funding, those that helped advance the roads bill, the commission that helped reinforce that vision and reaffirm our policy decisions on funding, or the project managers who spent tireless hours getting us to where we are today. This entire team understands that what we are working on here is vitally important to our great state. They, like I am, are no longer willing to say that it's just too hard, too tough, or will take too long to tackle big issues. Congratulations to everybody involved in this project. Mr. Chairman, let's get after it.
Okay, thank you very much, Secretary Hall. Up next is a moment we've all been waiting for, the official groundbreaking. I would like to ask the Governor, Secretary Hall, all of the speakers, and our South Carolina DOT commissioners to join me at a line of shovels. I think we'll head with Tina Kennedy around this way, if we could. She is the event planner. We would also like to pause briefly so our friends in the media can get ready, and then we'll officially get the project underway. Thank you all again for coming and lending your support to this project. So with that, let's get started. That way.
Mine is good.
Seems like this might be a good spot.
I'd rather get a highway behind us. Let's go here.
For our second round of pictures, we're going to ask all of our legislative delegation members to come forward.
Just stick over here. We won't go back there. So we'll just
Come on now.
We'll do the media bell right here.
Hold on for a second.
You guys.
Hey, get away. He's doing. He said he's doing it here. Who the heck? Oh, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, he's yeah, immediately. Yeah.
Okay, if we're ready, we're going to do it one more time. On the first one, you just put a hand on the shoulder and look forward. Photos. All right, everybody can go in and take one quick picture. One, two, three. At this point, I'm going to ask the DOT team to come forward for photos.
What? Camera guy. Shoot, man. Hey, man.
Mic check for all the reporters. 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. We are at the groundbreaking of the Malfunction Junction. It is a 14-mile project that is expected to last for another 8 years, I want to say. I say that very lightly. Don't quote me on that. It's not my project.
Hey,
No, it's not. No,
all right, you good.
Okay.
Everybody else good in the audio?
We good? White balance, anyone? We're good? Good? All right.
Well, you better give me some questions. That's all I'm doing. Whatever, no? Yeah, oh yeah. Don't break that, it's disgusting. Right? Oh, hold on. Somebody gonna see you?
Barbara. Photo, are you ready? Everybody put one hand on the shovel.